Thank you so much, brother, for joining me once again, or us, I would say.
Always a pleasure.
Much obliged to have you here. It's been way too far too long.
Mm-hmm.
So, actually, I was thinking maybe I could tell a bit about my experience, journey.
Tell
Oh,
a bit about my
every time.
Get subliminal messages to drive that into people, repeating it.
And now I just put my fingers with onions on them in my eye.
Dash your virtues.
So,
Onion family.
yeah. If everybody can hear us, okay, that would be good to get the feedback on that.
Yeah.
So thank you again for being here. We're gonna do a bit of a short one today because I miscalculated the time because you're now on the same timeline as me.
Yes, we are indeed.
So we're gonna keep it short. And I was thinking today I was just going to, like I just said, start a bit telling a little bit about my latest experiences. And let me just make a disclaimer before I start, because I think as I go, it can be easy to think that I have turned my back to the fruitarian lifestyle, which is not the fact. I'm 100% sure that fruit is our food. At least when it's grown and harvested in the right manner and the right time. And I've always gone with this thought, it's been reoccurring, that the fruits I'm getting here in Norway probably is quite far away from optimal, which I think will relate to maybe many of us who don't live in the equator or around that area and can go out and harvest when we want. However, I had to start looking at the situation, and you know about most of it because I've been quite open about it as it has progressed. But I got the. Okay, let me go back a little bit. I think it's now 2.5 years I've been with the X-Fam, and at least the 2 first years I would say, for me, way beyond my normal capacity to be strict on staying with the fruits. I came on and confessed those times I had strayed away on the X-Fam Q&As. But it's not been difficult. And this is just something that cements the fact that I believe that what we're meant to do, we will be given the ability to actually do. At least that's how I look at it and how I live my life, let's say. I'm taking the path of least resistance. Some would say maybe that's lazy. You're free to do so, and I respect your opinion. However, what I experienced was I got the B12 deficiency, I got the D deficiency, I got the testosterone deficiency, I got the bad teeth, my hair was bad, so and my teeth was bad, but it just got worse. And I got a bit fatigued, of course, because of those things I mentioned. Again, I'm not. I'm on my journey, of course, right? Nobody else should take my words or what I'm saying now today to heart or to copy, or I don't want any. Follow your own journeys, please. However, our last fast, I got through the juicing fine. On the second day of the water, I ran into some issues. My eyesight started to act up. I got in a really bad mood, bad, which is not like me. So I actually ate some fruit on day second of the water fast. So I cut it a little bit short. Also, I have introduced a little bit of eggs, an occasional fish, uh, and the odd, very odd rotisserie chicken with all the, yeah, okay. Telling you all this is a bit hard, because I don't feel like I let anyone down, because that's I'm on my journey, as I said, right? So whatever will come out of it is absolutely perfect. It's my journey. It's something I have to experience to progress. And as we know, everything is a process, so you will probably go a bit back and forth and in and out, and before you land on your feet somewhere maybe steady in the future.
I think the most important thing that's going on here is that you truly understand where you need to be. And what you need to do is absolutely know that what you are doing is correct for yourself.
I definitely feel, yeah, sorry.
I was just going to say the questions that arise during the deficiencies need to be answered by your inner compass. So going on this journey now is exactly what you need to do to see if it was something that you needed to do, or it was just the inquisitive nature that will lead you back to ultimately the truth. I will let you carry on, and then we'll speak about something
Yeah.
unload.
Yeah. So let's see, where should I start, or continue. As I said, I have the complete confidence that it's all exactly as it should be. Some will maybe say, "Oh, poor Jostein, he lost to the ego. He got caught up by the ego and he's back to his old ways." I'm not back to my old ways, by no means. But another thing I had to recognize was the first fast I ever had, which is about 2 years ago now, the December fast 2 years ago. The fat just ran off me. And that was the first and the last time, let's say. So it seems to me that I don't have the same capability to burn fat or rid myself of course, probably more correctly, the dead food, and which is not strange. You clean up the system, and you rid yourself of candida and all those things that probably help us a lot in processing those things. So one question arises in that manner, is that if one wants to explore the juice, the fast, the fruit, and all these things, and maybe have a thought that I'm not going to quit all of my old ways, let's say, would they be doing themselves a disfavor in ridding themselves of all these things? Would you say, or?
It's all dependent on where the journey is of each individual. Any type of abstinence is going to be great if any type of IV has taken its hold on you. So just to have a break from any type of food that's causing stress on the body is going to be so beneficial, even if you are on a meat-based diet. Over time, though, essentially the journey that we're all having and the experiences shown to us lead us to a higher truth. So whatever's happening to you now, there's a choice. This opportunity could be elevating you in the future, or it could be allowing you to, downgrade in consciousness. But it all depends on if you let thoughts overpower you at this time, because again, open to opportunity to other people's opinions. Do what others say and think, cause and effect to you. That's something that everyone should look at. And if they do cause an effect, then there's room for work. And essentially, the virtues and understanding how this ego functions on such a high level It's so sneaky. It works in many, many mysterious ways, but is essentially here to help you evolve beyond it. So yes, it will be beneficial for you, is the short answer.
Yes, I'm not doubting it will be beneficial for you, but yes, it's beneficial for you. Let me see. I just had to make some notes because, and it's interesting because I try to be observant and conscious about what I eat, how it affects me. Let me just say, I'm still 75% fruits. I'm not. It's not. I haven't gone carnivore or anything. It's just I've introduced the little bit more of the cooked foods and some, like I said, some eggs and some different things. I've been told I look healthy by friends and family. But then again, I was also told I was radiant when I was doing just the fruits. So it's, it's a bit of both, a bit of positive in both camps, probably.
How do you feel?
I feel good. I feel good because I have to be, like I said, I was at the moment there quite fatigued. I couldn't just walking from the garage and up to the house. My legs was heavy. It was a struggle, and I had to be honest with myself. I wasn't optimal, but again, I'm not questioning that the fruits are the way to go. It's just that I don't believe the fruits I'm getting here is good enough. And then you have to.
I counter question that, as in, do you feel like consuming the meats and the small amounts of like dairy, egg, etc., are going to be more beneficial for you than a poor quality fruit? And could the possibility of all of these products being synthesized with certain things that maybe are deficient in the growing industry and give the placebo and the idea that they're beneficial and the whole construct of this business world, that element of ridicule for the plant-based diet?
I would say it's not too much things that gives me issues, actually. I'm like I said, it's not that bad. It is potatoes. It is some eggs, like I say, and some butter, and some fish. So, and if we are in the social situation where I'm okay. I'm trying to live by a simple rule, and that's like to feel as good as possible, as much as possible. Be it in my, in spirit or in physical or whatever. That's my main goal. And I see that, okay, if I enjoy a meal with the family in Babylon, it's enjoyable because we are together. We're talking, we're laughing. It's nice in that way. And if I can push my lifestyle on them, then why not go and join them a little bit? That's more or less how I look at it, and it gives me pleasure. What I find maybe even more, okay, I can be honest, or I'm always honest. I maybe don't feel as, I don't know if
I'll answer it for you. I'll give you a prompt. You feel like there's a bit of a heavier, easier ability to react or to fall into thought patterns than there was when you were off of those type of foods. Is that what you were saying?
Maybe to a certain extent. I feel I still have control over my own mind, and the fact that I'm not, I still have the trust.
but
No,
there's more opportunity to fall, maybe
probably,
more noise.
probably. What I was going to say is that I don't feel as connected, as spiritual, as, but still enough, maybe. You know,
Yeah.
it's you know what's really interesting is that you know I also was low on the testosterone, and probably have been for a while. Um, and my friends, lots of my friends are previous fighters, and they love to look at fights in the UFC and those things. And when we were having a boys' night, they looked at, and I was like, oh, do we have to look at this violence? Sitting with my legs crossed. But as I have upped my testosterone levels a little bit with this gel you get on prescription gel for leveling your. I noticed that I don't have the same aversion for violence as I did.
Mm.
So I can just, I guess it has to be something to do with the testosterone levels. You get more manly or more. I don't know what your thought about that. I don't know if is it just.
It's the conversion to DHT, and that's more the androgenic side. So that's what the animal instincts are sort of developed with a higher type of androgen. So you will be converting to more DHTs, to more androgens, which will make you feel more aggressive. But again, the ability to abstain from reacting to them is another challenge for you during this period. So anyone can look at this and judge any situation. But again, it's all about the inner balance and inner happiness with you. And it's going to be hard to really truly know, as all of these things came at once and all of these are bringing balance to you all at the same time. And then the idea of meat and dairy tiny bit coming into your diet may bring you a type of connection to that being a truth. But again, this is absolutely your journey. And the great synchronicity is I wanted to kind of head this talk with you regarding the journey has to be walked by the one, and everyone has to find their way. Everyone after their own individual healing, and there has to be inner stuff. Just like you were saying with your family, if you try to shed light on your family when they're not ready, and somebody acquires, let's say, a bit of a higher consciousness field through fruit diet, and they're not ready to tackle it, and truly inside of that being, they don't have the will or the spirit to do this, and maybe they're doing it for you, they will crash. They will experience psychosis. They will decrease their evolutionary state. And it can cause severe trauma and issues with people. So that's why someone has to begin the spark to look, to see, to find, to seek more, and to essentially observe what happens when there is a change within their habits and their behavior. And that's when the consciousness really expands. So, I mean, it's a great thing that you brought this up. And anyone who, feels that someone who is spirit or someone cannot be spiritual because they're not on this path is totally wrong.
Yeah, and that's kind of something. I was thinking maybe taking this in a Q&A. I have a tendency to lose them because there's weekend and we're doing family things. So but I'm going to try to be more present on those. But as I said, it's perfect as it is. And that's all I know, and that's all I need to know. So I'm sure that I will get out on the other side, or whatever this is, and maybe good to mention for those sitting at home and judging themselves for having a little slip up. There's nothing to.
It's the idea that there was a slip up which causes this friction. And when we are able to come to the recognition that everything is perfect and is divinity itself, we can let go of all of these things. Yesterday is not now. 5 minutes ago is not now. So we just have to continue to maintain here to be happy.
Mm.
Whatever happens is your journey within inside the physical realm, but you as your true nature is beyond physicality.
Mm.
That's just the dream concept within inside yourself. And feel free to play. Feel free to do what sits for right with you. I know for me, I mean, I'm limit is whole food plant based done by myself. I feel great.
Mm. You
And
know,
it's my journey.
it's your journey, exactly. So, and you spent some years getting there. You know, you had this early start, and you progressed. Me coming in, 2.5 years ago, I have a feeling it maybe is a process that will take some time, and I'm sure I will come back stronger. And like I say, I haven't jumped ship or anything. I'm just explaining exactly where I am, and what I experienced, and what I'm feeling now. And of course, I can take critic in maybe doing a bit too much at the same time. I should have, done one thing that I can really pinpoint what really did what.
But now the journey becomes even more intricate for you because the journey where this has led you to this point. Now you've learned one thing at a time, take one thing out, add one thing back in, and it's all perfect for you.
Mm. Yeah, that's all I know, that it is perfect. So I'm perfectly fine. I'm not I don't have any issues with anything. So it's all good. It's
We love you. We support you. It's
I know.
interesting to follow someone on their own individual journey to see how they expand and grow or shrink.
You know, what if it's more an individual thing? What if, let's say, somebody reincarnated 20 times in India being a vegetarian and can more easily assimilate it than somebody been an Eskimo 5 times? I don't know if previous lives can affect this one.
I think that this life should be dealt with, and only this life in this moment.
Yeah.
Previous lives have led you to this experience here. And what's here and available to you is for your growth now. So what's happening within your digestive system is for you. The human anatomy is designed for plants. We have not really the capability, essentially to physically catch animals as such. How difficult would it be for you to chase after a rabbit, after a cow? I mean, how would you, without tools, how would you naturally devour a cow? I mean, most people can't run after a chicken. So.
No. Again, I'm sold on the fact that we are meant to eat.
You could get the eggs because they don't move.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I'm not questioning anything of the. I just have some thoughts, and what if, or contemplating, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
What if things introduced in an early stage in one's life make one more prone to be more efficient in dealing with anything? Like, I can use myself as an example again, of course, that's the only thing. My mom, bless her, she didn't know any better. She gave me lemonade with sugar and the whole thing, on my bottle at night, yes. So my milk teeth, you eat mostly fruits now, but have you ever eaten popcorn?
Have I ever eaten it?
Huh?
Yeah.
When you're finished, you see in the bottom there's a lot of this. That's what my teeth look like. Those half-popped popcorn. That was my teeth. And to a certain extent now even. But one being introduced to that much kind of a sugar in such an early stage could he develop, or she develop, a better ability to handle those kind of things? Or if it was fat, or if it was, I don't know, whatever it may be.
Body will find a way to use what it can.
Mm.
You can eat trash, and your body will find the most efficient method for it. This is why I'm sure that many mothers and fathers out here, or if you can recollect to when you were very young, sitting on the toilet, holding your stomach, saying, "Why does my belly hurt?
Mm.
Why do I have this stomach ache?" He was probably between the ages of 3 to 5, maybe 6. This is when you're being fed the wrong food. And then, of course, you have the perfect alignment with a bacteria, fungus, or protozoa to help you through the process of digestion with this. So you accumulate what you need to on a regular diet. So I think where the real issue is, and it does lie with someone that converts to this diet, but still goes and dips into old foods, especially like the things like the sugar. This is deadly. And then the milk, even in periods of like once a month, then there's a severe reaction within the body, and then you pull up ailments. So sometimes you can reignite deep tissue pathogens, and then they come to the surface, and then they have to die, and then you're dealing with die-off on a regular basis.
Mm.
I think when someone's clear and cut and they are elevating their cells on a slow and steady pattern, really feeling what happens to the body when they make these slight changes, because they feel very significant,
Mm.
then you're deep rooted. And I think for me, as my food journey started when I was like 12, maybe 10, and I was doing this, then it's kind of led me to a cement path, where I feel like I know what's good for me.
Mm.
And everyone else kind of really, truly needs to do that for themselves. You can take advice, and if it resonates with you, then absolutely, elevate yourself slow and steady through the plant-based diet, eliminating one thing at a time. Like usually you have like the meat go, because sometimes the thought of it turns you off. And then the milk, and then cheese is usually the last thing for most people because of its addictive nature. But yeah, I mean, it's a whole journey, and this is why the X Fam are so incredible, because they're all on their own individual journey. But I've
Mm.
come to a point for me where I see people who are just generally happy,
Mm. Yeah,
making no judgments.
mm. I had no issues with my, let's say, my mood being on the fruits. That was, and it's nice to have that. Again, I'm in lack of a better word, connection. You feel more zen. I don't know how to say it, but again, this can be variety of things why I maybe not feel that, but I feel good. That's the main point. And I'm loving the 75% of fruits I eat every day. So that's not the issue. And when we finally get somewhere where you are now, or somewhere close to you, where we can grow our own food, then I won't look back at all. I have to say, I have never been sick. I can't say I remember being sick, even once. So apparently, whatever I did, and I've told you before, I had a sweet tooth, let's say. But what was going on inside me, I can't tell you. One thing I want to mention, I mentioned earlier the first fast where I got the fat just running off me, at least for my standards. And I forgot what I was going to say.
But you losing weight quickly at the beginning of your fasts, and then not necessarily having the same weight loss on the further fasts. Is that what you're saying?
No, there was a point I was going to but yeah, probably come back to me. Probably.
Leave the thought, and then God shall hand it back to you.
Yes, that's better.
But yeah, with the testosterone, so everybody is aware, it's not the whole food, plant-based, raw vegan / fruit diet that gives you low
No, no,
testosterone.
no, 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 no.
My testosterone is very, very high.
Yeah, yeah,
UK is based between 13 and 28. I had mine tested and it was 43.
yeah.
Um, the doctors asked me if I was taking any type of anabolic or testosterone, at that present time, and I think it works out to be about 1,300 nanograms per liter, which is what most, I think, recreational steroid users would be pleased with. And then there's studies in the 90s that actually prove that vegetarians have a much higher testosterone than any type of meat eater or alternate diet. So what's happening over time is through the degradation of the body, these less important things to keep the body running tend to shut down and become less potent. And as a living example, it's absolutely not the case. So
Mm,
sometimes during periods of our life, we do things that may cause things to, shut down, and it's just an individual journey again, eh?
mm,
But they can be restored, and they will be.
mm. Yeah, I shouldn't have, I should have said that the testosterone, my low testosterone, has nothing to do with that diet. That I can attest to, reassure everybody. Don't worry about that. That's probably my previous sins. That's the reason for that. But it's all good. I was just gonna. Have you heard about a guy called or he calls himself Sunfire Genesis?
Kind of rings a small bell.
Yeah, he's a very tattooed guy. Looks like a gangbanger, more or less. I just saw him on a podcast with this. What's his name? Jay or Melon Free Melon Society.
Mhm.
He's been a reoccurring guest with this Free Melon Society guy. And he was
I don't think I've heard of them now.
no, no. They were just talking about fruganism, and breatharians and Eli Martyr. Yeah, Eli Martyr. Thank you, Ellen.
Mm.
Um, you know, for me, he was going on and on about how big of a hell it was for him to, come to where he is. Like it's been like years and years and years of pain and suffering, and it didn't quite resonate for me, because if you all was going to go through that, then what for? Like if it's going to be 10-15 years of pain and misery to kind of be able to, because he was like, you have to be 10 years vegan, raw vegan, before you can go to be a frugivore, and then years and years and years before you can even think about going towards breatharianism. But that is probably a process as well. But I was just curious if you heard about him.
That's just concepts that individual has, brought to light during his experience. But truly, this experience we are having now is to elevate one to the next level of evolution. This just comes from recognizing ego. Your happiness lies there. You have ultimate choice in any given moment: happiness, sadness, emotions, presence. And that's where we should focus our time and energy.
Mm.
Liberation. But the fruits, they make it easier. You are liberating yourself from body pain. Like you were saying, my father, he grew up very poor, and he was fed sugar sandwiches, just sugar and sandwiches. And he was very badly diabetic by the age of 37. I can remember being very young, maybe 9 or 10, and hearing him collapse upstairs, like boom. and he was about 20 stone, so quite a heavy man, big man. And he was on type insulin and metformin and all these other drugs to stop cholesterol being produced, for high cholesterol, high blood pressure. And my brother became ill with basal cell carcinoma. My mother had cervical cancer, and my sister was chronically ill in bed for 14 years. And they're all better now because of the plant-based lifestyle. You know, my dad doesn't have diabetes, my brother's cured, my mother's cured, and my sister having chronic fatigue, which is, you know, just a label, being unable to get out of bed, being pushed around in a wheelchair, not being able to go to school, nothing that these normal children do. She had to go into fruit and fasting, and it was the fruit which allowed her to be cleaned and healed. It wouldn't have happened on a whole food plant-based diet, you know, to be elevated to a purer, cleaner lifestyle. And now she has been on a massive fruit journey with fasting and juicing. She can introduce other foods, you know, but if they come in too much, then she'll feel that. But as long as she recognizes the balance and where to stay at to keep herself healthy, then she is, you know, doing exactly what she needs to do, living a fulfilled life, being able to sing on stage and do the things that she was sort of expressing at an early age. You know, she was a great singer. By 14, she got signed, and then at 14, the debilitation of her body began. Everything is divine, but one must recognize this themselves. You know, my brother took 6 weeks, and my mother did, and it was probably about 12 weeks before my father was much better, even to a state where his legs were rotting, and now they're fine. 7 years on. And he had to go to this raw food, predominantly raw, let's say, to be able to get the liberation. And obviously understanding things like the statins, and statins cause the body to not produce enough cholesterol, and then understanding that cholesterol itself rebuilds every single cell in the body. So that is an important element to repair. So these things have to be recognized on an individual basis by doing research to recognize, to align with the truth, to then make the decisions, knowing in your heart that what you're doing is the best choice you can do at any given time, because that's all you can do. And then watch and observe. And my father has stayed on a whole food plant-based diet. He rarely touches rice, but that's the worst thing he'll consume. My dad grew up in a family of 5 people who were the most aggressive men you could have ever experienced or been around. They loved fighting and very dominant alpha males. And now he's found meditation, spirituality, recognizes the world for its tricks and its lies. There's no doubt about it. And he's come from a reactive, aggressive man to a peaceful, inner standing, happy man. And through this journey. So it works for most people. I mean, for me to see you elevate on your journey and you've come from a place to a new place of peace, that's all I wish for everyone, to be able to recognize how powerful it is when you can see what's going on with your psychological drama, and to be able to attack it in the simplest forms, which is the virtues. And of course, the acceptance of situations, not living in the past or the future, because they will never get here. You can never change the past, and you cannot control the future. You let go of those ideas, and then peace begins to fall upon you.
Yeah. No, I'm so thankful, grateful for the journey, and still am, and it's ongoing. It's not done by no means. Um, and again, it's my journey. I hope people don't feel like I've let them down because I've strayed a bit away from
You never
this.
know, they might all go down the supermarket and get their eggs and
No, please. No, I hope that was kind of my biggest fear, that people should think like, okay, if he can do it, I can do it. That's not. Please don't.
it has
Um,
been done.
that yeah.
Desperate.
What was curious was that it was suddenly appearing in my experience people who had gone from. I know you've been on a show with Justin and this vegetable police.
Mhm.
He's a bit all over the place, trying different things. Maybe not long enough, I don't know. But he is now back on a. The last thing I saw, he was eating chicken. One meal a day. He has 1 meal a day, 1 o'clock. A big meal apparently, but he's eating whatever. But another guy called um, yeah, something. he's there was somebody here asking me, that we should try to. He's gone from. He has have had 2 rounds of 7 years of fritarianism was my I think, and now gone carnivore. Then I start to get a little bit like, okay, why all the way over to the other camp?
I just say it's extreme concepts, and those that aren't truly stable, they tend to get pulled by other people's opinions, which is, I mean, for me, I've seen so many people join us, take on board everything, excited, like I was saying at the beginning, feel like it's the absolute truth, but be unable to sit there because they don't actually truly know themselves. I mean, this is the journey. I walked the journey from a very young age and experienced so many different things, and then left the element of freedom and knowing the self till I was more mature. But I very much was thirsty for knowledge. I went on this quest to understand my body, and life just led me on this journey because I was ready.
Mm.
Now, some people, who have been, I've known many people who have been straight onto a juice fast, then going on to fruit and staying on fruit, and then jumping into carnivore because they can't take it. They cannot take what's happening to them. I've met people in the town of Glastonbury just when we passed through with our friends, Mobius, who we've shared some of their music with, and they've gone insane because they're having this spiritual upgrade, but they're not ready to take on anything. So once you've seen it, it's hard to unsee the eye. So the best thing you can do is go back to meat to allow it to desensitize the truth again. And then you kind of go back into a lower body vibration where there's more thoughts arising, more questions, more doubt. And you can sort of numb down the ability to be so free in this beautiful experience.
Mm. I have to be honest that I'm quite aware that I'm vibrating a bit lower introducing these things. I can sense it, and also compared to where I was, but maybe also the testosterone is playing a role in my being. Like you said.
Vitamin D is a hormone. Yeah, it's not a vitamin, it's a hormone. Massive amounts of depression come from having low vitamin D. Other things don't get absorbed because of this. So you're going to be deficient in the ability to absorb things with a low vitamin D. Vitamin B12 regulates your nervous system. Your red blood cells tend to large and get less. And then you can't absorb oxygen and nutrients into the cells. So then you have this type of anemia feeling, which can take up to sort of 8 months to a year to fully recover from.
Mm.
And then obviously this low testosterone. It's your journey. This has led you here to speak to this, to let others who may be led, others who may turn their nose against it, others who may have opinions on you. All of this is perfect for them, it's perfect for you, it's perfect for me. And like I said, the ideas that may bounce around in some people's awareness, for me, the thing that stands out is the ability to tell the truth. That's the most important thing. To be able to sit here and stand and tell people that you're on this journey and you're trying this, and letting go is an evolution for yourself.
Mm.
To let go of the fear that comes from speaking out. That is the virtues. Yeah. These animals that have been bred in the business world, they have had an experience that wouldn't have been there if they were not bred in such a way. Now, evolution of consciousness has brought this society to this state where there's ample choices out there. We're not in a fight or flight anymore.
Mm.
There is enough food for everyone twice over. There's enough land for 1,000 times over.
Mm.
We're in that stage now where we are starting to recognize these things, and we're branching out in groups of collective higher consciousness beings to be able to give a more fulfilled life in the ideas that we hold. But this is all from within. No one is without when all is within. You can't be.
Beautiful. Sorry we didn't get to take in too much questions. It was kind of a egoistic show. No, but we will come back. We won't be that long between shows, hopefully.
Oh, we've just had an incredible journey getting here.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit. You're in Spain.
Yeah, well, you can get a kilo of mangoes at great wholesalers for €1. So you can buy a whole box of Spain-grown mangoes for €10, which is probably around about 22 mangoes. And you just let them ripen for a few days, and they're the best mangoes, I've ever had. The best flavor. Tiny, tiny bit of string, find like little threads in them. When you blend up a mango sometimes, and there's these tiny things. The most delicious things. €2.20 for a kilo of avocado. So we're having lots of cherry moyas. You may know them as custard apples. They're around about €1 a kilo of them at the moment, and they are the sweetest sugared pear flavor you'd ever experience. So yeah, we're really enjoying everything about Spain. The weather's still 28, 29 degrees. But the journey here, was beautiful, perfect, difficult. We met some beings along the way who had some troubles, so we were there helping them and doing what we need to do to align with beings who are wishing to increase or to heal or to do whatever they need to do to see more clearly. But we're very much enjoying the weather, and we are on the scope. But a few things have set us back with helping others. So we are just always in the moment. Nothing ever can take us off of our balance, which is the most beautiful thing. So I'm grateful for that.
And it's perfect as it is, right?
Absolutely. Why change anything?
No. Very good, very good.
We are currently in the Alicante province. At this
Alicante?
moment.
Alicante.
Yeah. And we're in a lovely little town next to the beach. And yeah, just really looking hard now.
I'm going to check my schedule because we are going to come to visit. If not we, then at least me. But I hope we can make the trip together for a week or two. Yeah, we can talk more about that later. But
A lovely comment that just came up. It says, "I do not feel to be enlightened. It's all about food. I feel it's about wellness and health." That's an incredible thing. One little bit of advice is you don't need to do anything to be enlightened. You already are. Everything in your experience right now is magic. Your sensory perception, your touch, your smell, your taste, your relationships, your kindness, your empathy, your ability to experience all of this. You let go of the thoughts, future, past, resentment, any of these sins. Just experience everything in its pure glory. So you are already that, my sister. Thank you for being with us for such a long period of time. I've always recognized your beautiful comments. It's always a pleasure to see you with us, as is everyone who is here today. Thank you so much for your love and your support and your recognition of what is true within yourself. The journey is a great one, the great work. This has been passed around from the occult to now. Occult just means hidden, something which can't be seen, something which sees but is unseen. You are everything. Everything to me, to Michelle, to Little X, to Jostein. And without you guys, I wouldn't be here, because I am happy. I'm happy just being here. I'm happy being anywhere. And I have the most fulfilled life with my beautiful family. And I just wish everyone the same. And if you need any pointings, then this is what we're here for. Everything is positive here. I see a question by the polar camel, and it says, why must we not bombard others with facts? Why can't others see truth for what is when it's presented with information? Everybody is on their own. Is everybody on their own journey? I mean, one of the biggest ego traps is when we feel like something is more true to us, that we then try to tell others. And in that process, we create conflict in the form of cognitive dissonance with the others, because truly information is only accepted when one is actually searching for it. Because your school systems and other school systems create a meaning, which is the average, the mean, a perception. And why would you ever look for the truth if you didn't know what you already knew was false? There's just a divine spark that allows one in curiosity to seek more when one questions, is this all there is? And little do persons know that as soon as one looks, as soon as one seeks, they begin to find. And then the more they find, the more they reveal the untruths within inside the world. And again, this journey is the rabbit hole that will lead you to darkness. Can you handle darkness? All light comes from dark. The void that is devoid of all things. Modern day science will say you look close at a cell or an atom, they find nothing but empty space. So how could everything physical come from nothing? It comes from you. The science cannot explain it. No one can truly explain. I found my ways of subtle pointing via explanation that is logical, which helps those seeking to see. You all here have the divinity within inside of you. And this is your time. The time is now. Find it. X does mark the spot. Right in the center, where there is no left no right. Just here. All the ideas that come along with everything that the mind and the person want to try to assess, relay reality back to the one which is just awareness. You can just divert the attention off of this here. Just recognize what is here and what is now as a continual practice. And peace will fall at your feet. There is nothing to do. You are already it. We just let go of what we hold on to find it. A great saying is you are looking from what you are looking for. You look for magic, it's everywhere. Don't expect a tree to disappear. The appearing tree is far more spectacular. Here, phenomenal, reality. Enjoy it. Love everyone and everything. See the good in everyone and everything. Your perception is yours. This is like the metaphor of comparing a camera with the light to a mind. You have absolute control over what you let into your conscious presence or the consciousness. If you are unaware, then the imprint of what is seen lays within the unconscious, subconscious, as programming for the person. Become aware, all nows, all time, every moment, and nothing can affect you, not even eggs. Roastery chicken. Or I don't know, did you have some chocolate now as well? So maybe chocolate. Nothing can hurt you.
Not now, but it has happened. It has happened. It was one event with a friend. I was at the cabin with a friend. That was not good, but it was an experience.
That's all we need to do. Surrender ideas. The great idea is great suffering. Expectations of events, sadness. Just let go. And let the field that you generate respond to that which you need. Do the birds think about food? Do they worry where they're going to get their food from? Do they worry about a new paradigm shift in monetary systems? Do they worry about a movement of people trying to save their emotional state? Do they look for presidencies to come back in and fix the broken system? This is all perfect. The system doesn't exist unless you give it power. You create everything. Walk in the light of your happiness. Everything for you shall align. So don't worry, be happy. In the words of Bob Marley.
Those are wise words. Thank you all for joining us. Sorry we didn't get too much of your questions today. We will do better next time, and we will have more time, so it will be perfect, as this was.
Yes, I look forward to seeing you next Thursday.
Yes.
And we will be here. If anyone wishes to ask more questions, then please come to the Q&A on Sunday. Hope to see you all there. And until then, there is no bad, there is no good. Just the perception that you hold about the things which are in your reality. Let others do that which they will, and allow your will to do that which it should. Stay balanced, stay peaceful, stay virtuous. Love you so much, brother. Take care. It's been so wonderful seeing you again. Thank you for your
Always.
honesty, friendship, your love, and as always, everyone. It's a great pleasure being with you.
Thank you for being here. We love you all. See you next week. Thank you.